So, as a first step, we would need to open settings on our phone and here scroll down until you'll find this tab which is named Sounds and Vibrations. Here we would be able to find all of the settings that are related to sound or vibrations somehow. So, first thing that we got here is setting if we would like to vibrate our phone when it's ringing or not. This ringing can be for calls or alarms. So if you would like to enable or disable this feature, you can simply click on this slider. Next thing that we got here is mostly known Do Not Disturb mode, which will disable all of the notifications, sounds and vibrates that can easily disturb you. So then we can move on, and first thing that we got at the next tab is sound mode. So by clicking on it here, you can choose silent mode, which will have no ringtones nor vibrating only, or ringing. So which one to choose is only on you. Next thing that we got here is interesting feature which is named app specific volume. So by clicking on it here, you can see this description and also enable or disable this feature. This feature allows you to set different volume levels on different applications. So let's move on, and next thing that we got here is volume levels. As you can see here, we got 4 categories, which is media, ringtone, notifications and alarms, and you can manually change the volume levels of each of these. So for example, we can set the media like this, and you can also hear the test sound, which is showing how loud that will be. Here, next thing that we got is ringtone. So let's also hear the test by moving this blue dot to the right side. So next thing that we got here is a notifications, and it works basically like both of these levels. You just adjust it and you can hear the test volume. So let's move it to the right side. And next thing here, which is also last, is alarms, which is the volume of alarms that will be ringing on your phone. So let's also make it louder. So let's move on. Next thing that we got here is a volume button function. So by clicking on it, here we can choose if with the help of these buttons we will adjust the media volume or ringtone volume, but I prefer the media volume, so I will leave it like this. Next thing that we got here is ringtone and notification sounds, which you can choose by yourselves. So if we will click on this ringtone, here we would be able to choose from the Realme sounds for the ringtones, or we can also import our custom sounds which can ring when someone is calling you, and the same works for the notification tone. Here, by clicking on this tab More Sounds, you'd be able to open a special library which has even more ringtones and notification sounds. Next thing that we got here is All Reality Audio, which is also known as Dolby Atmos, which is creating a cool effect of floating sound around you. Here we can enable it or disable it only if we are wearing a headphone, so it's enabled by default. And here you can also select your sound profile, which can be smart, which is automatically adjusting its sound profile by the type of media that you're watching or listening, or you can choose it by itself, the movies, gaming or music, based on what are you doing now. So let's go back and move on. Next thing that we got here is haptics, which we can simply enable or disable. Haptics are really light vibrations that are reacting on your touches. For example, it can be the keyboard when you are writing something, or also the sliders which can slightly vibrate. So if you would like to enable it or disable it, simply click on this slider. And now let's move on to the last tab that we got here, is named More. So let's click on it, and here we can see 2 interesting features, which is default device and also in-ear monitoring. And this is basically all of the settings that we got in this tab. I hope this video was helpful for you, and thank you for watching.